Welcome to the No Name MMA Show, the best damn MMA podcast you've never heard of. Thank you for joining us on this lovely June 9th, 2021. As always, we are joined by
No Nut Shot Nina.
And Mystic Daddy Juan. Almost forgot my name there for a second.
Yeah, we have been on for a minute. And yours truly, Motivated Andy. After having a week off last week and a not so casual friendly card this weekend, first I wanted to say that I spoke out of my ass talking about Jordan Leavitt with that lackluster performance he put in. And also, before we get into anything else though, what's going on in your lives? Juan?
I finally downloaded UFC 4, but
Damn, bro!
yeah.
Why haven't you hit me up? You scared like
Is
that?
it? It's not cross-platform, is it?
I don't know. Is it?
It's not.
It's not. But you gotta be an Xbox boy. Ain't nobody got an
It even
Xbox.
runs better on Xbox than it does PlayStation. But that being said, UFC 3 is still better than UFC 4. I have
Yes, it is, but now it's been a year now.
But
So-
it's on Xbox Game Pass, so there's still a whole bunch of people on Xbox who play it. I'm practicing on UFC 4 because I need to get better on that one. But UFC 3 because
Is where
it's
it's
on
at.
yeah.
There are some parts where I do notice the difference between UFC 4 and UFC 3. I do agree with you though. UFC 3 as it was implemented was close to like the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Everything was where it was at. Like everything landed, nothing was off really. Just you can the ground game is always going to be an issue in that game. But I think you're right. UFC 3 was the best.
Whenever I first started playing UFC 4, the ground game was really weird, but I realized you could switch it back to
Legacy.
Yeah, and that's what I did. So I feel a little bit better on it, but I'm still
you're
not.
still trash.
I'm still not.
Still
Dude,
not.
my stand-up game is good though.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, it's still maul you though.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
What do you mean okay?
I said okay.
Bro, I got you on feet too, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever you want,
I'll
dog.
snatch your soul with Diego, just like everybody else.
I would like to see that happen, but
Bro.
you're always right. You're always right. You're always right.
Damn.
I forgot the rule.
Alright, babe.
I guess really just working, but the biggest thing that we haven't officially announced to all of our listeners, except kind of through Instagram, is we adopted our second kitty.
Yeah.
He is a domestic short hair, all black, little cutie psychopath named Tony Soprano.
Vicious.
He is
Vicious.
so playful, but he's the biggest crybaby, and he is so
also
scared
crazy.
and like skittish.
I feel like he's
but
a perfect
so playful.
embodiment of Tony Soprano.
I don't think that.
Except for him being small.
No.
No. He cries all the time.
Tony Soprano doesn't
Cries
cry.
all the time.
No.
He is a spaz.
No.
He's scared of everything,
No.
which Tony is.
Opposite of Tony
No.
Soprano. But
completely lovable at the same time.
We
and
have
crazy.
been learning kind of how to introduce Kristen Wig, who's been our cat, who's a year old.
Coming up.
Yeah. And the new little baby kitty. So we're happy that they are finally really loving each other and able to play together and hang out. And they really do love each other.
Chow him down.
Yeah. So the new little baby in our lives is here. What about you?
Me, what have I been doing?
Sucking dick.
Shit, at least not in UFC 4, bitch. Anyway, I guess I am sucking dick because I can't even remember what the fuck I'm doing.
Oh, can I also give a shout out? Today is my youngest, no, she's not my youngest sister anymore, but my sister, Emily. Today is her 21st birthday.
Woo!
So happy birthday, Emily Hager. She's in Texas.
Damn.
Living it up today.
And just when the UFC's out of Texas too.
Yeah,
She used to go to Arizona.
probably not, but.
Meet Izzy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, happy birthday, sister.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. What the fuck have I been doing? Anyway, yeah, I guess I haven't been doing anything. Happy birthday, Emily. But yeah, pretty much that was it. Oh yeah, well I have been working on the show. I've been trying to put the little MMA roundup on there. Also, that is where the new home of Meme of the Week will be. It's just so much easier. Last week, who was it? Shit. I don't know. Anyway, I don't remember. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It'll either be up on Sunday or Monday, depending on our schedule.
I was just going to say that meme you showed me last night, I was cracking up and I was like, this meme is about to be a meme that goes viral and you can put anybody in it. But that one that was like...
Lion King?
The Lion King, and it was like Lying, and it had the face of... Fauci on Mufasa on Pride Rock. I was like, that is gonna be repeated many a time. So whoever did that, congrats. I liked it.
Hi.
Right?
So now, before we start off, Juan, no name of the week.
No name of the week. How do you pronounce his name? Manon Fiora? Fiora? I don't know. I'm sorry that I'm butchering your name. But she's the only person in the prelims last Saturday who got a TKO. And it was nasty. Punches everywhere. It was just a sick knockout.
It was
sick. So that's really the only one out of the prelims that would be worth watching because, it's the only one that would be worth watching. There was that one no contest. Did you see that one?
Yeah. There was like 3 eye pokes. He was gonna lose that fight.
Yeah, he was 100% gonna lose that fight. So a no contest is better for him than
I'll take a no contest, I guess. Does it mean
I feel so bad for that other guy?
Yeah,
he was doing good.
He was destroying him.
Yeah.
But also, it is what it is. You should learn how to keep your fucking fist closed.
Yeah.
It's not like this is the first time. It's not like this is the 15th time. This
we
is
can go on like a whole thing.
And we have.
This. Yeah.
And we have. So it's like I feel bad to a certain extent, but dude, come the fuck on. This shit's it's just too played out now. Like, you need to know better. And the whole excuse of I need to be able to grapple. Like, who's grappling up on feet? Like, no, you're gonna go for the takedown and then. So I don't want to fucking hear it. No.
Anyways, that's it. That's all I got. So, since we didn't do this last week, we're still doing the MMA Minute or no?
We
I
are
got confused
not doing the
because
MMA
of last
Minute.
week.
We are doing just a quick summary of headlines and fight announcements.
All right.
And then looking at last week's fights and looking at this week's fights.
Let's go.
Yeah, so go ahead and prepare yourselves. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week.
Yes.
Let's start off first with some of the top headlines before we kind of really dissect last week's event and previewing this week's happenings. We have another fighter complaining about pay, Paulo Costa. He pulled out of his fight with Jared Cannonier, and who stepped up? Kelvin Gastelum. Yet again. Yeah.
A little soon, but I'll take it.
So, some context for people who haven't been keeping up with it. Paulo Costa was officially announced to fight Jared Cannonier. I forgot the date of the card. I think it's August 21st. So it's been a month since the announcement, really. And then this was during the week of the Jake Paul fight.
Mm-hmm.
Paulo Costa complained and said, I don't get paid enough to be fighting in a main event. I want more money. Like, they are telling the truth. Why are we not getting paid more?
Yeah.
And I had made a meme about it, saying how to lose a UFC contract in 10 days with Kelvin Gastelum. and Gastelum and
Paulo Costa.
Paolo.
The meme also was on the trailer art for How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days with Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson.
But I made Kelvin Gastelum Kate Hudson. That's the thing. So Matthew McConaughey was Paulo Costa. It meant nothing. It was a shit post. Somehow, one way or another, Paulo Costa's girlfriend is like, you don't know what you're talking about. You know nothing. You are just talking shit. And I was like, bitch, what's up? Do you know that I'm a meme page? Like, we run a whole show about podcasts and we do not give a fuck. So I was like, I mean, am I talking shit when he's pulled out of his last 2 fights and he just got fucking impregnated by Izzy?
Oh my god.
And then...
Impregnated.
I'm just saying...
He's with child.
Like, bro, chill out. But am I saying anything wrong? Because what I said in the post was, like, I can't disagree with fighters getting more pay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you signed the agreement.
And you're not winning.
And you haven't won. So that makes it 2 bad things when you're going in to ask for a raise.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to go ask for a raise whenever you miss
Show up
work
late
and
for work.
Yeah, and then you don't do your job right. So like, no.
Paolo, don't get your girlfriend.
But also, it's,
that is not a cute one.
Yeah.
But also, like, I can't disagree. Like, fighters do need to get paid more.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Also, you can't, under these circumstances, rightfully just ask for a raise when...
And Paolo, it'd be different if Paolo had... I'm not saying he doesn't have any respect, but he doesn't have the kind of respect to where if he's going to do something righteous like that the other fighters are going to follow him doing that.
100%.
He's not that guy.
He's not the guy.
So
you got the wrong guy.
So he doesn't need to be pulling out of any fights. He can express that. He can get with the other fighters and they can talk about it.
Yeah.
But there's going to be someone who has a bigger name or a more respected name within the UFC to kind of be like, okay,
really,
we need a
more reason to ask for it like that.
I do agree fighters need to go on strike, but the problem is there's always somebody looking to get paid.
Yep.
There's always, man.
I mean, if you really want to bring it down to it, like, UFC promotions, they don't really make money. Like, the people, like, in the prelims that are getting, like, 4-4 show win money, like, they are just happy to be there. So you're talking about, I mean, I saw some of the pay scales. In one report, he had made $350,000 in his loss to Izzy. Another one I saw him make $450,000. It doesn't matter. He needs to get paid more. But optically, you're talking about asking for a raise after a poor performance and pulling out of 2 fights.
I think it would be fair and helpful for some people to know too, like, why the Jake Paul fight really triggered him. If you could explain, like, how much those boxers for that not even fight were getting paid.
I was gonna mention that like, okay, you have boxers that are making millions of money.
So, like, they each were making
money.
guaranteed 22 million.
So, calling Jake Paul a boxer now, he is 0-1 officially because it was an exhibition match.
No, that was Logan Paul, not Jake Paul.
Logan Paul.
Yep.
So we'll talk about that fight. So Logan Paul is 0-1. It's an exhibition match. It doesn't count towards an official number. So he's still 0-1, whatever. But he made
20 million.
20 projected with the amount of pay-per-views, which thank God was less than 1 million. I feel like I would have lost hope in humanity if they had sold more than 1 million pay-per-views. But even with what they sold, Floyd Mayweather is projected to make 120 million, and Logan Paul is projected to make 20 million.
So then when MMA fighters are making like 300,000, it's hard to like boo-hoo for that kind of money.
Especially if there's injuries like that Chris Weidman injury.
Yeah.
I don't follow boxing, but I can't think of a time other than when Mike Tyson bit that guy's ear, where there was a serious injury, like snapping a leg in half.
Yeah.
So these fighters are putting even more on the line than what boxers were doing.
Yeah.
So they need to be getting paid the same, if not more, than boxers. Dana White, I'm pretty sure you're a billionaire at this point.
That's the thing. And that's why I can't agree with Dana philosophically, because he spends the amount of money that like a whole card would make on a normal like fight night in gambling. So you need to tell me you can't give this guy a more than livable wage for him to fight? Like, it's not that crazy to ask for somebody to be getting paid $100,000 a year to fight. But some of these fighters are making less than minimum wage when you account for how much they actually make per fight after cuts and everything.
And how often they actually fight.
Yeah, like...
I get it, though, honestly, to be, like, totally fair. Like, if it wasn't for Dana White... Oh, no. All right, if it wasn't for Dana White...
Yeah, he can edit this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't blame Dana. I feel like, personally, I worked a full-time job and did my, like, passion side hustle, not because of the money, but because I felt like that was, like, what I really wanted to do. And after, like, 7 years, I was finally making enough money to go out on my own and be a freelance, you know, like, and so I feel a little bit like, yes, you're only making minimum wage, but like, welcome to the world of, you know, like, but you might not get paid, like, for what you really want to do. And as much as it sucks and it's not fair, like, if it wasn't for Dana White, there wouldn't be the dream of fighting like this. And he makes shit happen. As much as we sleep on him and kind of, like, hate on him, he's so involved. He's ever trying to expand, ever trying to give more opportunity for people that, like, it just, it's just not as much of that entitlement. You know, like, I get Dana's side of it too, because a lot of people have to work.
He's looking at it as if it wasn't for me, you guys wouldn't be here.
Yeah. And he's the one that, like, is continuing to make sure that there's opportunities for the sport to grow and for the UFC to grow, so that there could be more fights and there could be more matchups and there could be more advertisement and there could be more money for a, you know, like, I get that. Like, he's the one really doing the work for the sport in the sense of making it a profitable business, and everybody is contributing themselves to that as a fighter. But, like, without that foundation, they wouldn't be fighting and making money like this at Bellator either.
And that's where we enter the gray area, because it is a gray area.
I definitely agree that the fighters should be making more money for what they're doing, 100%. But at the same time, also being somebody who works freelance and for myself, sometimes it takes a long time. And of course, I'm not an athlete, you know, where you only have so many years that you really can compete like that. But I mean, it just is kind of one of those, like, entitlement things where I'm like, yeah, maybe you just got to work 2 jobs for a little bit.
Like, the example that people, I think it was Meme Shit Only, he was just like, oh, you expect to get this money, but you have to promote yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't think Dana's doing enough to promote you, then that's on you to promote yourself. And like Conor, I mean, he did not give a fuck. He was who he was, and because of who he is, people bought into that. It is part of the reason why people wanted to see Logan Paul.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
As much as you don't want to agree with it, people paid that.
People who don't give a fuck about any kind of fighting or even really give a fuck about Logan Paul. They paid to go see Logan Paul fight, you know? So
what you're kind of saying is, if you're fighting as far as being on the prelim card is kind of your regular career. That is what you're doing. Such as if someone was doing insurance as their career or whatever, that is their first career. Mm. And then if they want to make more, if they want to be someone like Conor McGregor, they have to put in that effort.
That's on you.
Or get a second job.
I mean, to make the living you want with the lifestyle you want, or in the city that you want to live in, or whatever, like. Yeah.
Just because you're fighting doesn't make you a superstar.
Doesn't automatically because you're on you can't TV doesn't just mean.
You can't. The example that I'm using, again, this is still saying fuck you to Dana, is like you can't be playing the best ever or lose in some lower league or whatever and expect the same money that Ronaldo's playing. Yeah. Even in the Premier League. If you're looking at somebody who's like run of the mill, like whatever, and he's expecting Ronaldo money, like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, that's not you. So, yeah, you gotta do...
I see that argument, and it's more clear to me now, and I almost 100% agree. I agree with
both sides, honestly. Yeah.
I think even the prelim fighters, I think their pay could be a little bit more, but they definitely shouldn't be making...
Oh, yeah, no. And don't get me wrong. Fucking getting paid 7-7 and 20 is fucking ridiculous.
Exactly.
And for them not to have healthcare, like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I think they donated like $100 million to brain research. Guess what? Because they're gonna get sued the fuck out of. Come in like the next 6 or 5 years, we're gonna start seeing our fighters that we think are like GOATs actually go through like the CTE and all the head trauma shit. We're gonna start seeing that. We're going to start seeing their bodies kind of wither down.
There 100% should be benefits on top of a freelance agreement like that. And then maybe even like at least a $50,000 a year minimum or something. Like,
or at least a fucking stipend.
Or like you get X amount of camps paid for or something. You got to give the guys a bone because to come up, it's like...
Because even if they were getting 20/20 on a fight, they gotta pay their coaches. They gotta pay the hospital bill. They gotta pay so really if they're getting paid 20/20, so a total of 40 if they win, then they're really going home with like 18.
They're fighting for their health.
Yeah, and that's where I mean, like for me as a freelancer, I am in contract with a great company. But, like, any accommodation or anything that I need in order to perform my job, the company provides to me. So, if you need a coach, like, your coach should be paid for. Or, like, your team should be paid for. Or your corner should be paid for. Or, you know, like, your camp or whatever. Yeah. Like, that maybe would make it so that money is actually what you earn. That should be true earnings, not just, like, a net, you know, kind of...
And then if that was the case as well, you wouldn't have those problems like Kobe not paying his coach.
Yeah. Right. So like, exactly. It would take care of everybody. We're getting a little political now, but that's okay.
This is something that needs to be said because it's not just, fucking Logan Paul's fighting, fuck that because I don't care.
And
it's
that's
like,
where Paulo Costa looks like he's just being greedy. Like, that is in bad taste. And it's not shame on what he's saying. It's more so like he himself is just being greedy. And after doing this more than once, it's like, you don't really care about that.
Before the fight was made official. Yeah. Immediately after.
He had to know when he was getting paid.
It was only triggered because of the Logan or whoever did that boxing with Mayweather.
Yeah, that's it.
And so...
like Juan said, stop getting your woman to fight your fights, Paula.
That is another not cute look for you altogether, Paula.
I see, like, props to the girlfriend for sticking up for Paulo, but also stay in your fucking lane.
Damn. I did not say that, Paolo. Come on the show.
Paolo, don't come on the show.
Paolo's girlfriend, come on the show. She's like, oh, he will not come on the show.
Never. No. She seemed nice.
Ron, stop.
She came at me. She came at me.
All right, moving on. We also have in those top headlines, Ariel Helwani announced that he is moving on from his ESPN, from ESPN after his contract is up. So,
which will be next Wednesday, I think.
Ariel, we're all fans. We're going to follow you where you go.
You need to be a commentator on.
You need to be a commentator on the UFC panel.
Yeah.
He said he didn't want to do that. He prefers long form, kind of whatever.
You can do both. What?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been following Ariel for a long time. He was over at MMA Fighting. He was over at Yahoo Sports whenever Yahoo was Yahoo. He created his own thing. He kind of made the sport more sportish.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of crazy people. These are actually athletes that are fighting and performing. He legitimized the sport in one way or another.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not going to say that it was all him. Obviously not. But he made the sport take the right direction.
Yeah.
I think. Or at least the reporting behind it. And I've been a fan of him for the longest time. He has been nothing but nice to us. He wished us
I know.
happy marriage and good luck on the podcast.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Good
he's
dude.
nothing but, in his words, a mensch. So, yeah, good luck to him. Also, reports were, sorry I'm getting into it. So, reports were he is reportedly getting paid around $500,000 a year. ESPN has been doing a lot of cost cutting. And he was asked to get a 10 to 20% cut on his salary. Reports from New York Post, so take it for what you want. But, Ariel has the podcast with DC. He has the show with fucking Chael Sonnen. And he does all these interviews. He's the 10-time journalist of the year.
Yeah.
Covering the sport for 15 years. Like...
Not
respect
to
where
mention,
it's due.
NBA,
and NBA.
Yeah.
So, to ask that man to take a pay cut, especially when you see all of the content on ESPN is MMA,
Also, the content, provided by ESPN, I feel like Ariel Helwani's, ESPN presence was one I actually wanted to watch. It's not like Stephen A. World, where I'm like, you just are a man who knows a lot about sports. You kind of have that knowledge, general knowledge across everything. I want to see somebody who, really can specialize in what they really, truly love and, and not be quite that cliche kind of anchor person journalist. I liked how real Ariel has been on the air.
And he's also one of the people in the MMA sphere that have openly talked about their mental health. So I also fuck with that. So nothing but the best. Can't wait to see what you're going to be doing next.
Mazel tov.
Sucks that DC and Helwani's not going to happen, though. That's a bummer.
Wait,
on
what?
ESPN?
Yeah, because it's an ESPN show.
I didn't know.
They can make their own show.
Yeah.
It's not over.
I don't know if they'll allow DC. It might be an against, an anti-compete clause or something. Especially if Ariel's going to be with another network.
It's just a side. It's just a side thing for
Unless Ariel was interviewing him every week.
Yeah.
I don't
Special
know.
guest DC.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that is a workaround. Shit, I don't know.
What if
I wouldn't
Ariel
fuck with
and
ESPN's
Darren Till
lawyers
make
like
a
that,
podcast?
Who?
Ariel and Darren Till.
Bro, that'd be good.
That would be a good podcast.
I would listen to that podcast.
Yeah.
Darren Till does come on Michael Bisping's I Believe You Me podcast. If you
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
heard that, great show.
It's really long. That's
It's just long as shit.
Yeah, it's just long.
Just like this show's gonna be, because that's the second point.
Mm-hmm.
We have 15.
We got a lot.
Oof.
All right, so with that, moving on, GSP has just got a statue unveiled of him in the town that he grew up. There have been some remarks about how it does not look like him. I mean, it's a statue. Those are always creepy looking.
Yeah.
And they're hard to do. I've been crazy about restoration fucking videos and shit recently. And them doing a cast or a mold of something, they fuck it up like 15 times.
Yeah.
So imagine doing that for a human's face. I'm
Not
sure
just-
eventually they're
yeah,
like,
their whole
yeah, maybe
body.
like that looks good enough.
It looks good, yeah. I thought it looked good, but
And if GSP is happy with it, that's the only
Yeah,
that's
he
the
look
only
fucking-
thing that
He
matters.
looks so stoked.
Yeah.
And at least he doesn't look like fucking Ronaldo's.
there are much
Bust.
worse.
I made
yeah.
a meme about that. Like,
Yeah.
there's bad shit out there.
There's,
so
there's a lot
respect
worse.
where respect is due, and good
Mhm.
for you, GSP.
Yeah.
Congrats.
All right, so let's really kind of dive in now with last week's card. Where if you actually saw the card, which by the way, people were talking about it, nobody really missed possibly fight of the year except for the fight between Santiago Ponzinibbio,
Nice.
and I thought his first name was Miguel.
Miguel Baeza.
Baeza. Baeza had Santiago dead to rights in that very first round, kicking the shit out of his leg.
Fuck that thing. Oh.
He bubbled up that calf real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then Santiago said, okay, and ended up with the unanimous decision victory over the undefeated, perfect record prospect. Ultimate show of heart and a true dog show. Now the front runner for fight of the year as of Mr. Motivated himself. So,
Juan, what did you think about it?
It was a really, really good fight. When I initially watched it, I didn't think fight of the year didn't come to mind, but I think it's because I know how many bangers there's gonna be. Like, we have Holloway and Yair coming up.
Yeah.
So it's just like fight of the year didn't come to mind because I guess I'm expecting that, but I can definitely see how it's a contender. It was a nasty fight.
yeah. And I think since the last show, we kind of gave our thoughts on that current list of, knockout of the year, whatever. And I think when we talked about fight of the year, Andy made his point of he's looking for that dog show where it's just non-stop contact. And you got it with this one, definitely. But when I watched it, I felt like for 3 rounds, by the end of the first round, they both were pretty tired and not really hitting with the power that they were capable of, maybe. And because they went the distance of that 3 rounds, it was an amazing fucking fight. I was on the edge of my seat, but I was not as floored because of who they were and how much damage they were truly doing to each other. It would have, I don't know. So amazing fight, but that's not what makes fight of the year for me.
Fair. I disagree with you strongly. I thought that shit was dope.
Yeah.
They were tired, you're right. It's different that versus Izzy versus Kelvin.
But Forrest Griffin versus
Yeah.
Stefan.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that was continuous, nonstop, back and forth.
Joanna.
It was remarkably close in terms of
Whaley. Those bitches did
But-
damage.
But they're so small.
They went
have
5
to-
rounds.
Yeah.
Joanna's head blew up
They
like
were
a freaking
doing
balloon.
damage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but
I'm
that's
looking
where-
for that.
But that's where
Those aspects too to be fighter or fight of the year.
I feel you, but in terms of an even-ish fight
Yeah.
that I think has happened so far this year, that is the closest.
Oh, for sure. The
For
heart,
me.
the fucking grit.
Yeah, that's the true
That was true.
You are
Santiago had to
you're
push on.
gonna fucking take me to hell, but I'm gonna come right the fuck back at you.
Even
I'm not
though-
gonna quit.
Even though I thought Santiago probably lost that first round,
Yeah. He definitely lost that.
100%.
he still had Miguel against the fence,
At the very-
unable to move at the very beginning. They both came in ready to finish.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was a really good fight.
Dude, if that once, whatever that dude's name, not Santiago, but the other one, I keep forgetting. Miguel, yeah. If he keeps up with those leg kicks, he's gonna be a huge problem.
Yeah.
Especially with like the volume of the leg kicks. It's insane.
He is 170 Edson Barbosa.
He needs to check those fucking jabs.
Those
though.
legs were the T kicks, the calf kicks, the inside leg kicks, the high kicks.
Yeah.
Bro was going off. He had landed 21, I think, like maybe a minute after the first round was into the second round. He had landed 21 kicks. In the first round, he landed 12.
He looked like he came out of cheer camp.
I don't know if he's gonna be the champion.
Taibo class.
I don't know if he's gonna be the champion, but he's definitely gonna fight for the championship.
I think that's fair.
And for having his first loss, this is an amazing first loss.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a very competitive fight. I do think that, and also credit to the judges, because we don't give enough credit to the judges when they get it right.
Do get it right.
And I feel like it was a perfect, like, the fight. The second round was really the telling point, because Ponzinibbio definitely won the last round, and Baeza definitely won the first round.
They definitely made it a recipe for disaster as far as like how close it could have been.
I think when we really kind of look at it too, like the exchanges, maybe Santiago had a bit more actual like connections with his strikes or his jabs, but when you really look at it, like Miguel was striking at the legs and Santiago was landing with a jab to your head. And there was more than once where you can see Miguel shaking his head trying to re-rattle himself after a pretty good jab or a couple of jabs back to back. And so the judges are probably, like, when I finally see it like this, it's kind of significant strikes, like your brain in your head versus the calf on your leg.
Yeah.
The calf on your leg can completely ruin somebody, but because neither of those fools were trying to give up, and they didn't, they went until the last second. Like, if you really got to weigh the damage, your head took more damage than the leg, lastingly. So that's where I saw that. Oh my God, that very last hit with Miguel's mouthpiece went flying out. I was like, oh my God!
The fact that no one fell in that last,
that's
like
crazy.
Insane. They both should have been fucked on the ground. Yeah.
So, my fight of the year so far, and I'm gonna stick by it. I think there are some.
I'm not saying that it's not. It's just because I'm already anticipating so much. It kind of like overshadows it. So.
I feel like right now it's a placeholder because Dustin versus Conor can very well be like a boring grappling match.
Yeah.
Let's say, I mean, it's definitely not, but let's say it is. I mean,
it would be a good move for Dustin, though.
It would be a good move. It would be the best move. I don't know why he hasn't pulled that move, but
I feel like too. Like, I think it's still early 2021. It's June 9th today.
Yeah.
Like, we are halfway through.
Yeah.
So I think that's a little baffling to me too. I think I'm kind of with you a little bit. Like, we're about to see some crazy
the July card
headlines.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, it's still early in the year, and then I'm like, actually, no, bitch, it's halfway. So it's crazy. All right, moving on. We really then had that co-main event between Marcin Tybura and Walt Harris, which ended up as another heartbreaking loss for Walt Harris, as he ended up punching himself out, and thus leading to Tybura taking him down and ending up on top of him for the first round loss.
Rip.
Yeah, rip. Tybura is now on a 5-fight win streak, and Walt Harris is on a 3-fight losing skid.
There was a thing going around on Instagram, I think, where it said that the last couple strikes. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Ariel Helwani made a tweet about it. The last couple strikes that was thrown on Walt Harris could technically be a legal shot because it was hitting the back of the head because Walt went to his stomach. But overall, it was I feel bad for Walt.
Yeah.
I mean, good for Marcin. He played it right. Like, that's definitely the way to go in terms of fighting Walt Harris. Like, kind of let himself get tired.
Yeah.
He just went so hard, so quick, and he was hurting. But you when you go that hard, you can't hurt him. You have to finish him because you're gonna be out. Like, you're gonna be tired as fuck. So he just was trigger happy and gassed himself.
For those
out.
who don't know, Walt Harris recently lost a daughter. So this is why it's kind of so heartbreaking, because I'm pretty sure since then he hasn't won a fight, right?
Yeah, 3-fight losing streak.
Yeah.
And lost a daughter to murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, kidnapping and murder.
So, hearts out to Walt Harris. I hope
Yeah.
Dana White's paying that man regardless.
I kind of would like to, I kind of think he is.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah.
If he decided to not fight again, I'd 100% support him. No, man. The fact that he's...
Walt Harris, we love you.
Yeah.
Come on the show.
Yeah.
We think you're her winner all the time.
Yeah. You're literally... If Dana White's not paying you...
We gonna make you a GoFundMe.
Yeah. We're gonna figure it out.
Send me your Venmo. Yeah. Crazy. All right. So... main event of the evening, we had another set of big boys going at it with I can never say his first name. Jairzinho Rosenstrike going up against Augusta Sakai, where Rosenstrike came out again to get the literally last second KO in the first round over Sakai, which leads to the question: does this fight mean anything in the heavyweight picture? Heavyweight division championship has already been called dibs on by Derek Lewis, rightfully so, for the first defense of Francis's title reign. Then we also have the winner of that probably facing against Stipe for his return, and then after that have either Jones, if he decides to move up, or the winner of Volkov versus Gain. So, yeah. I mean, do you really think that fight means anything for the heavyweight picture?
I don't. It's kind of fucked up because Rosenstrike already has a win over Tybura. So, Tybura would be the natural one to go up.
Yeah.
But they're all, like, scheduled out. And heavyweights don't fight that often.
Yeah.
It's where it was once a pride and joy of me to be a heavyweight fan, but now it's kind of just like sludge. It's like you had it all lined up and now it's kind of not. Mm-hmm. When you could have made Derek Lewis, it's still not official. And it's still, like, it might not happen on September 4th, I think is the projected date. Okay. It'll be 266. But yeah, it still hasn't happened. It's a damn shame it hasn't been announced. Like, get this shit going. Like, why are these fights not happening?
What do you think, Juan?
See, I disagree. Or I want to disagree. You might be able to change my mind, but if anything,
yeah.
All right. I'm gonna read that last part again. Then after that, you either have Jones if he decides to move up, or the winner of Volkov Gain. Mm-hmm. See, I think the winner of Volkov Gain, I think that means nothing. So
I think that's going to be the number 2 contender, the number 3 contender.
I think Rosenstrike is gonna fight. First off, no matter what, it's Derek Lewis, John Jones, or John Jones, Derek Lewis. I don't think no matter what happens, when it happens,
you don't think Stipe gets
nothing change. Huh? No, I don't think Stipe gets first strike.
Damn, that's disrespectful.
Has Stipe and Jones fought before?
No.
I don't think an agreement will come. Derek Lewis being Derek Lewis and being almost okay with agree with anything. Mm-hmm. I think that fight happens right off the bat, even if it's not announced.
Derek Lewis, come on the show. We fucking love you.
Yeah. Balls is hot.
I think Dana White's gonna fall under the pressure to pay John Jones sooner or later. It's gonna happen. So I think no matter what, Derek Lewis, John Jones first and foremost. So, Rosenstrike, if he...
Stipe?
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. If he projects himself correctly and he goes about everything the perfect right way, then he fights Stipe.
Mm-hmm.
So Stipe doesn't get an immediate rematch?
No, I don't think he... Does he deserve it? 100%.
Sure.
But do I think that he'll get it? No. I don't think Dana White's gonna...
Damn, you don't think so?
No.
Would Ngannou and Jones ever fight?
Oh, they have to.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
if it's
the horizon?
Yeah, like the winner of this will probably face Jones.
I feel like...
If Derek Lewis somehow wins, ooh, I'm foaming at the mouth if I'm John Jones.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to take that big boy down.
Mm-hmm.
You think?
So, I mean,
You
he's
look
done
out
it
for
before.
those uppercuts.
He's done it before. You're right. You're
You
right.
look out for
But
those
also, John Jones has a
John Jones
crazy
is
tight
not gonna...
clinch.
John
Yeah.
Jones is not gonna strike with any of the heavyweights.
Yeah.
I feel like, though, like... kind of an in-between of what you guys are saying. I feel like it could be, but we don't know yet if this fight with Rosenstrike was a big deal. I feel like we got to see the next couple of fights, see how they fall, and then we'll rethink it. I feel like that's the position we're in right now. I feel like for both Rosenstrike and Sakai, I don't feel like they moved much. You know, like in the rankings, I feel like we're still sitting ducks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like up to the championship and those contenders.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where the chips lay and then kind of keep building. I think it's almost like nobody is off the table for anything yet. I feel like we're just kind of sitting waiting for the champions.
Because we have to see the winners, they're obviously going to propel, but the losers, we have to see where they sit once they've lost.
Exactly. And so I feel like right now it didn't mean anything for anybody yet because it doesn't really change a whole lot for me, is what my thought is on that.
Makes sense. I can see that. But Derek Lewis, John Jones, and Stipe,
I
they
think
have
Stipe
to...
gets it before Lewis.
If Dana White has a choice of paying Derek Lewis $6 million or paying Stipe or John Jones $10 million.
But would he take a request from Stipe before Lewis? Yeah.
I think
It
it's
depends
hard.
because
I
Stipe's
can't-
already been out for a little bit too.
Yeah, I can't even say no. How can you say no to Stipe?
That's what I'm saying. How do you say no to Stipe? So I'm
He's
like,
literally done everything right. He's always asked for what he deserves.
Okay.
Like it's not.
ended DC
Yeah.
last fight. You know, like,
A GOAT. He's defended the belt the most out of anybody else. Like
how do you not do whatever Stipe wants to do? And I feel like Stipe's next move would be Jones.
I agree with you guys simply because Stipe hasn't done steroids.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been popped.
But
So-
Stipe's also already resting. You know, like, we've
Wait,
seen
what do
him.
you mean?
He hasn't been popped and he is the official GOAT.
Yeah.
It adds more. My argument for John Jones for not getting paid is because of how he acts outside the octagon and getting popped multiple times.
Yeah.
So if that's my argument for John Jones
Mhm.
not getting paid, Stipe hasn't done either one.
I'm not.
So-
I'm not talking about getting paid. I'm talking about getting the fight.
And I think that if Dana did cave in and
Yeah.
eventually pay John Jones, he's going to put somebody there that he is much more likely to get shut up by with Stipe.
Mhm.
Honestly, I see Stipe beating Jones before I see Lewis beating Jones.
So I think I see the confusion here. The reason why I brought up the money is because that's what I'm saying. That's why Derek Lewis will get the first shot because
yeah.
he's willing to
Yeah.
get paid
Oh, yeah.
the least amount.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think let's go ahead and announce this and get it out of the way. If it's gonna be like that, let's go. What is taking so long?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so moving on, let's give a special shout out to, before we keep going, in Montana, De La Rosa for getting that second round TKO victory over fan favorite Ariane Lipski. You go.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was an impressive performance.
So good. Moving on to this week, we have the MMA floodgates open again as pay-per-view, UFC, as well as an event from PFL 1 and Bellator. First, let's talk about Tough right quick, which happened last night, where we saw the Raspo going up against Shalianon.
You're going to say that name so many times.
Shalinian.
Sorry.
He's also from Kazakhstan, so what up, Kazakhstan? In a wrestling-centric match that ended up needing a third round, which they don't normally do in Tough, FYI. They normally go 2-5 rounds. But, so, yes, sorry, back to where we were. He ended up having to go to a third round where Shalanian ended up in wrestling Raspo and ended up with the victory. You go, dude. We're excited to see what happens.
He out-grappled him.
Yeah.
Quick editor's note. He's actually from Ukraine.
Oh.
I don't know why you said Kazakhstan.
Didn't you tell me earlier he's from Kazakhstan? Didn't he?
No, he pulled a Dagestan.
Dagestan.
That's where it is. I was like, why is she saying Borat? Why did she make that connection? So yeah.
Damn, sorry.
He's from Ukraine.
No,
honestly,
that's 100% on Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
But I got Kazakhstan and
I just said
Dagestan,
the other guy. Because he pretty much just got on top and just kind of held him there. Not in a bad way, in a, control.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, good performance.
Moving on, let's talk about PFL making its return. And with one of, if not the most exciting events that Motivated Andy has been looking forward to, in Clarissa Shields making her MMA debut against formerly retired Brittany Elkins.
Is that today?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow main event 10 on ESPN Plus.
Clarissa, for those of you who don't know, is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist and a 2-division champ in the sport. So is this, you think, the crossover event we've all been waiting for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit, she needs to be talked about everywhere. The same way everybody was talking about Logan Paul versus Mayweather or Conor against fucking Mayweather, that's the level that she needs to be at. If we're talking about Henry Cejudo, she has done it in the Olympics twice and in 2 different weight divisions of boxing, and she's making a transition to MMA. And she's probably going to get paid less than Henry Cejudo ever will. And that's a damn shame first, and also, mad respect. She does not have to do this. She's been killing it in boxing. She does not have to do this.
I think it's different when it's MMA going into boxing and boxing going into MMA. As far as popularity-wise and as far as getting the attention that it needs, simply because if you're going from MMA to boxing, you're taking how do I say this? You ideally already have boxing skills to go into boxing. So it's that big, we don't know what's going to happen. They do know boxing, so they can completely beat this boxer. But a boxer going into MMA, they have to learn, they have to catch up. They have to catch up to everybody. So I think she's getting slept on because people are expecting her to lose. Because she does have to catch up, versus when an MMA goes into boxing, they don't really have to catch up because ideally
it's already in their tool belt.
It's already there.
Yeah.
One note: the last MMA fighter that I saw that did this, that had success, Holly Holm.
Yeah.
And she ended up being champion.
Really, the one and only.
Yeah.
There's
in
not
terms of
any...
successful.
Yeah.
There's been some boxers that have kind of done it. I mean, I guess you can say Kimbo Slice because he went from backyard to, but then you would be saying that about.
But Kimbo,
Jorge.
like, he made his own, like, he made himself big before
Yeah.
he went into the UFC. So
Yeah.
that's why he got the level of respect and level of.
I think it's definitely something to mention too that our lady UFC fighters really do
Get slept on.
set their own records. Truly, you know, like if the only other successful crossover is Holly Holmes, who run the world girls, you know, like they've really taken over those little corners that are up for grabs. They're grabbing them. So I love that about ladies in the UFC. All right, moving on. We have Bellator on Friday featuring a try of good fights, ending with a championship bout. First, we have ranked number 6, Iran Pico versus Lee. We then have number 8, Paul Daly versus number 3, Jackson in a catchweight bout. And then it ends with the champ, Douglas Lima against Lima. Sorry.
That's his new name,
My
right?
bad, baby. That was hilarious. Sorry.
Y'all, there's every country
No,
represented.
this one's tough. Yo, we got
I'm trying.
another page and a half,
Trying my
so
best.
you guys are gonna have to bear with us.
Okay, champion Douglas Lima
Yeah.
going up against number 1 contender Amasov.
Yeah, that's what I would have said.
Yeah, Amazov.
I don't know. That
something like
Douglas
that.
Lima fight is going to be dope, even though I don't know anything about Amasa. Paul Daly, I think, was one of the contenders for Fight of the Year earlier this year, so I'm really excited to see that. Aaron Pico, I misspelled it, is coming back after a string of losses, and he just got a knockout KO, same thing. A knockout, I think, in the first round, and he killed it. So all those fights are really, really good. So good on you if you have a stream or you are subscribed to Showtime. Yeah.
Moving on from Bellator, we have a stacked pay-per-view, which is in the early prelims as well. We have Chase Hooper going against Steven Peterson.
Yeah.
So that'll be something definitely to look up
For
or
those
look out
who
for.
don't know, Chase Hooper is Ben Askren's son. He's the guy with the really curly hair.
Oh,
the guy
not
who-
real son. Yeah.
And then Steven Peterson, you've seen him before. He landed a spinning back fist KO, and he has like a blue Superman tattoo with flames on it.
Always a hot choice.
So, and it's like blue steel or something.
Hot turd.
So it's like
more.
a hot rod, but with Superman and flames.
Nice.
So yeah, that's gonna be a really good fight. Chase Hooper barely got a comeback win from behind. He was getting destroyed and somehow ended up getting a leg lock. And then Steven Peterson hasn't fought in a while. I think he lost in a really good fight, and I think he's going to come out there to slug. So I think it's a really good match.
Yeah.
Chase Hooper needs to know that he's in the UFC, so he needs to work on his striking.
It's a good matchup,
And
definitely.
He was getting blasted in his last fight.
I don't even know.
Last fight.
Who did he fight? I don't
know, but his striking wasn't.
I remember, whenever Joe Rogan is saying how tough you are, you know you're losing the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he's incredibly tough. What a chin on him.
Yeah, that's like, my friend's got a great personality.
Oh.
You know? Put that chin. Also in the prelims, we have Joanne Calderwood going up against Lauren Murphy to see who wins the next title shot against Valentina Shevchenko.
This one's going to be good. So Lauren Murphy was on Media Day today, and this is kind of the narrative going into it, I think. But Lauren Murphy was like, to be honest, who knows if I get that title shot? Because what if I go out there and I don't perform as well, but I get the win? Or what if I go out there and lose?
Yeah.
Or what if I go out there and get injured and then I lose the fight with Valentina? Or what if I get the Valentina fight and then Valentina gets injured? And not to mention, none of my team has passed the COVID test just yet because we haven't been tested. So what if somebody tells me that this fight gets called off? So I'm not going to say I'm due the thing. I'm just going to say that, I'm hoping for that, but also shit can go sideways, and there's so many variables.
I
And
feel
that's
like
real as fuck.
with Shevchenko as the champion, I don't know why people are trying to.
That's what I was
I
going
mean,
to say.
honestly,
Why are people still trying?
I don't need to hear any of these concerns. Like, you just worry about you, boo boo. Like, same thing with Amanda. I mean, we got some people coming up, but I'm just saying, like, both these girls. Do you really want to win so that you go against Shevchenko? I don't. She's a scary ass.
But that's where respect is due. She wants a title fight. She's been begging for a title fight.
All right,
Even if she gets
let's go.
fucked up, I mean, she has earned it. I think she's riding a 5-fight win streak now,
I just don't-
or 4-fight win streak.
People can earn it all they want, but
No, they're not gonna
at the end
win.
of the day, they're getting a shin to their chin. Like, that's it.
Or wrestled. She fucking wrestled this last
Facts.
girl.
Facts.
Like, Shevchenko can do it all. And I'm afraid of her. But we also, in the prelims, I believe, have the rebooking of Anders and Stewart, which ended last time with an illegal knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Stop with the
Hopefully,
knees.
no
hopefully that
illegals.
doesn't happen again. That was like the week right after Piotr Jan got
Everyone's feeling risky.
fucking fatality, Aljamain Sterling.
Yikes.
And then Derek Anders was like, oh, we can do that now?
This is a thing? Yeah. Are we trending?
So hopefully that doesn't happen. It was a really good fight. Derek Anders was winning.
Yeah.
I
So
think
I'm very curious to see what was gonna happen.
I think if Jan or him ever throw an illegal knee again,
Bro.
they need to be kicked out of the UFC. They're done. They're done.
Would you say that for every groin kick?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So keep that same energy.
No, that's different.
Damn.
No,
Not
that's
all
different.
accidents are accidents.
Uh-huh.
To me, all right, you're
You're
100%
saying,
right.
though, that
No,
an accident looking illegal is okay, but a non-accident looking illegal is not okay.
no, this is what I'm saying. More often than not,
Yeah.
is going to be an intentional illegal knee. I'm sorry. Intentional illegal knee. But more often than not, it's going to be an unintentional illegal nut strike. So because the illegal knee is more often Jan was intentional
Yeah.
and the other guy was intentional, that's kind of like that should
It's
be
more
the-
significant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it. Yeah.
just
either
don't
way,
do it.
don't do it.
I don't want to talk about. Just stop fucking doing it.
Dana White, get new gloves.
Fucking piece of shit.
Onyx, not sponsored.
Come on the show.
Come on the show, Trevor. All right, and then moving on to the main event, we have first starting off with the fireworks.
Oh, sorry, main card, not main event. My bad, that's on me.
Main card. We have first starting off the fireworks, undefeated Jamil Hill going up against the notorious grappler Paul Craig, and what is sure to be fireworks.
Paul's
Hill-
gonna throw.
Hill he's a crazy good striker. And the last time he was out, he performed so well that apparently Halle Berry texted Dana White right away and said, like, this boy is special.
Dude,
So
if
if
Halle
Berry's
Berry,
texting about you, you're doing something right.
Ms. Berry.
Paul Craig, though, has like 15 different kind of submission sub-wins. So, like, if I'm starting to lose count of how many submissions you have, I can name a pretty decent amount. But if I can't even, like, remember that many, for you to be able to pull it off on a human and choke them or strangle them or, like, whatever, break their arm, fuck. I don't know. It's going to be a dope fucking fight.
It's gonna be good. I honestly just kept thinking about Halle Berry after we said Halle Berry. She's that hot that I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't. I'm so distracted.
I wonder if he hit her up after he
I'm
found that.
glad you feel that way, because
I feel like she is on every man and woman's what's the list or the hall pass or whatever.
the
Yeah, it's hall
A
pass.
hall
Yeah.
pass, is that what it's?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. moving on from that. Sorry, everybody. We have the possible last fight of Damian Maia going up against Belal, remember the name, Muhammad, who is coming back after that gruesome eye poke from Leon Edwards.
Did you see that picture with him and Chase Hooper?
No.
Well, he posted a picture with Chase Hooper on Twitter.
Muhammad?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I zoomed in on his eye.
Yeah.
It's looking a little rough. I don't know if it's the same eye that he got poked in, but like if it is, it just like it's not swollen or anything, just because like the inside part looks lazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's from the eye poke or if that's just his face.
How it already was.
I don't know.
But
I'll have to see the picture. I don't know.
I'll pull it up while we continue talking.
I feel like that's something that girls look at on their social medias when they're in those like girl group, kind of group pics or whatever.
So my girl.
Like, yeah, every girl. And one of my sisters is always like, look at my eyes. One of them looks like so much smaller than the other. And I was like,
do I have a droopy eye?
It's exactly, do I have a lazy eye? And like, she went to the doctor and was like, sir, I think my one eye is like fucked and the other eye is not. Look at this picture. And he was like, no, bitch.
So maybe lazy eye wasn't the right term. It looks
no,
more
but
like...
I know what you're talking about,
It looks more like out.
Oh my god. The shapes are totally different. That fool got a glass eye and he's pulling a Michael Bisping. He's like, you guys did not know this is not an eye. That is fucking crazy. Yeah. Oh my god. No, he looks kind of scary in that, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a RoboCop.
His eye is he's a Terminator. Yeah. He's literally a robo. That is funny. I did not see that picture. When was that posted? Or
it was posted 22 hours ago.
I think that maybe his eyes just like that now, or maybe like it got pulled a little bit more, and there's some nerves that are like kind of just dead or something.
All that skin around your eyes is so fragile.
Yeah.
You don't even want to like pull on your eyes
a
or
fucking
rub your
sharp
eyes
ass fingernail. Fast as fuck.
Here's a different picture.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Fast as fuck, boy. Yeah.
He's leaning. Yeah. No. That is off.
Yeah, there's something a little off there. Damn, that sucks.
But
I mean, I guess he made it out. He made it past.
Or he's acting like he has.
Yeah.
Like he's playing it.
Shit, good for him.
What?
I guess. I mean, if you really want to fight Damian Maia,
he's one of the reasons why this card is going to be one of my favorite cards.
It'll be good. I'm excited to see him. I hope he's okay, though. These pictures are not making me feel good. These pictures are not
making me feel very confident. To say one thing.
Oh my god. All right. And then speaking
that sucks. I just saw that and I'm like instantly bummed. His eye's so fucked.
It really... You were like, I think it's a little off. We're like, whoa!
I mean, it's not like...
No, it is different shapes.
It is noticeable. I think that we know it like that. We might also be like incepted because
it's an astigmatism, guys. He has an astigmatism.
I might be able to find older pictures of him and be able to compare it.
Yeah, we need to compare.
Well, Juan gets that.
Are you catfishing us?
Maybe. Professional.
He's like, oh no, it's me. All right, Eminem.
Oh, wow.
Okay, moving on. We have the return of the OG West Coast represent Tupac music, Nate Diaz against.
Okay, all right.
I was channeling Mr. Bruce. All right. He's going up against Leon Edwards in the first non-title, non-main event fight in the UFC history to be scheduled for 5 whole rounds. And they ain't fighting in New York this time, baby.
Nope.
That
Arizona.
New York commission ain't gonna call a little bloodied up Nate Diaz.
I don't know. They might.
I'm hoping not.
I mean, he just
Wait,
has
where's this
so
at?
much. Arizona.
I don't know. I
don't know about that commission like
Yeah.
that. So,
They're fighting in Arizona, not Vegas.
yeah, Arizona.
Why?
Because I guess
Arizona opened up.
Yeah, Arizona's opened up with no mask or whatever. So they're like, fuck it.
Dana should take that to Nevada, but whatever.
Well, the Conor fight will be in Nevada, so.
I don't
That's
care. I'd rather see Nate Diaz and Izzy and Davidson and everybody in Nevada.
Damn.
Sorry.
Oof. Anyway, you
Okay,
just hurt
sorry.
all our casuals out there.
Sorry.
Casual.
Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, no, I think it's gonna go how everybody thinks it's gonna go. But Nate has proved me wrong before, and I can't say I can go against Nate like that.
Yeah.
So I got Nate. I got Nate fighting the perfect fight. I think he's gonna box him. He's gonna use his reach, use that jab, keep him away, and then he's gonna fucking submit him in the 5th round after getting Leon tired.
The fact that it's gonna go 5 rounds is already in Nate's cardio favor.
Nate Diaz, the only thing is that it all depends on the commission. And honestly, Leon's wrestling is, I think, probably superior than Nate's jiu-jitsu. So it's still Nick Diaz's army, even if Nate loses, but I think
You can't say it out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as in moving on, not as in I agree. Nick Diaz.
Yeah.
Nate Army.
Those
Diaz
things
Army
we
forever.
don't talk about really right now.
Oh, Tony.
But we all feel it. All right, and then to last year's nominee for Fight of the Year, we had the rematch set for Davison Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno to settle once and for all who is the real king of the flyweights. I'm more excited for Nate.
It's hard to say. I mean, I am.
Homeboy was sick. He got food poisoning last time. Well, and he still fought.
Davison Figueiredo. But also Brandon Moreno got fucked up too. So.
Not food poisoning fucked up.
Uh,
Unless he was kidney stone fucked up, there's no equivalent.
I mean, he's the one who wanted to fight at like 3 weeks after the initial fight, so that's on him. I mean, you don't have to fight like that, bro. You could be like, I'm sick. You can't use that as an excuse. You can't use that as a crutch.
Paolo.
You can't use that like Jorge was like, oh, 6 days notice. Watch me do something on blah blah blah. And look what the fuck happened to him against Mara. Like, no excuses. You fought at your best, or at least you thought you did. You took that. Just take the L.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of an L to draw against somebody as a champion.
I agree, but Davison showed up in so many other times.
Yeah.
So
He shouldn't have been
He
fighting
showed
the
up
year,
one
but
time.
that's me.
He showed up one time because he missed weight against.
I was gonna say when he
fucking-
beat.
Joseph
And
Benavidez.
it's exactly why he shouldn't have been fighter. He was fighter of the year, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
fighter of the
fuck him.
Damn.
Those are fighting words.
Damn,
They
bro.
are fighting
We take it to like level 3 and 4, and you're like, man, fuck you for life.
I will say though, Andy says the more shocking shit on the show. I feel like the shit he says is so off the wall, but we're all kind of like, when you say it really sticks, and it means like
It's vile.
but it's such a statement. When Andy says it's just vile and petty and like shallow, not like when Juan says something like,
Dude, she's roasting
fuck
you
him too.
all up and down.
No, I'm saying though that you just
Yeah.
lay down that hammer and we're like, oh
No.
my god, you You
Yeah,
fucking
fuck him.
go in.
He fuck him.
You know
He
how
don't miss weight.
Oh.
You know how I repeatedly was
Hate.
spelling shit wrong?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it on purpose next time.
No, I love you, baby. That's your
I
personality,
said what
though.
I said.
But I'm okay. You can say what you said, but I'm just saying you're quicker and you say more. But when you say something that's just like for the effect, it's not as like meaningful because you say that kind of stuff more often.
You're hurting my
When you say them
feelings
more
on
shocking.
our podcast.
No, I'm not.
You're not. I'm dead inside. But anyway, moving on.
I love you. You guys both are equally mean. Don't
You're
worry.
gonna be saying Ponzinibbio a lot in the next episode. Just saying.
And then certainly not least, we've got that rematch set between Israel Adesanya and Marvin Vettori. Ugh.
I think Marvin's wrestling is not going to affect Izzy as much as people think, or as much as he thinks it's going to.
This is why I said that the respect for weight is something that needs to be taken very seriously. It's not just one weight class because you're doing 20 extra pounds.
Right.
I think Marvin Vettori wrestling Izzy is a lot different than Jan Blachowicz
Wrestling Izzy.
wrestling
Yeah.
Izzy. You've got a difference of probably 60 pounds to 30 pounds.
And he
Yeah.
wasn't even
Yeah.
a full 205.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we really got to look at it. Or, no, not 260, sorry. He was probably like 230 wet. So, but still, 30 pounds or something. So,
Yeah. I wonder if Izzy's as easy to take down, though, as anybody else that Marvin's fought recently. I feel like Izzy's got that really wide,
He has that
wide
Max Holloway
stance.
yeah.
takedown defense.
Kind of John Jones, too. Like, it's harder to take down John Jones because he's so lengthy.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a long man, and I
Mhm.
feel the same kind of about Izzy.
Yeah.
And he's got a really good balance
Yeah.
in his weight distribution.
Yeah.
And he's in complete control. And I think that's one of those like Max Holloway, John Jones type features. The same for Izzy. That's why these guys are the top because wrestling them for one is different, but even those takedowns and those windows are
You're going to be
much
smaller.
different. It's a
Yeah.
whole different ball game than
Yeah.
anyone else in the league. You know?
Yeah. I definitely have Izzy in this fight.
I have Izzy, but I mean, if somehow Marvin plays it right, we could see him on the ground. And I'm not convinced of if he does get him on the ground, I think he won't be able to. But if he does get him on the ground, I'm not convinced with Izzy's ground game like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Marvin Vettori can submit you. So,
But didn't what's his face Izzy get up relatively quick the last time? I don't remember.
I don't
essentially.
quite. I mean, not in the Jean fight. In the Jan fight, he did get up once or twice, but then John just kept on going and going.
That's a lot of weight.
It's that chain wrestling, and it's a lot of weight on you. But also, to be stuck in half guard when the guy's not doing anything to you, that's bad.
Yeah.
You can't just be chilling there.
But regardless, it is gonna be on the feet at least half of the time.
Mm.
And if Izzy can completely demolish Martin,
Marvin.
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 Martin.
I don't
on
know
the
why I
show.
said Martin. If he can completely dominate Marvin on the feet, regardless of how long they are on the ground, then I don't think it matters. Like if he knocks down Marvin almost every single time that they're on the feet, and what's his face gets on Marvin gets on full mount every single time they go on the ground, the knockdown is going to be worth more than the being on full mount. And
That's fair. I
Yeah.
don't know. I just think that in terms of a title fight, I mean,
I
Corey
like seeing-
Masvidal got the the fight to get a fight a champion. He didn't do anything, so it's hard for me to shit on Marvin. But also, I'm not the matchmaker, so fuck you. This is dumb matchmaking. He just won against Kevin Holland, who had just lost recently. Like you got a short notice fighter who just lost.
Who else were they gonna put?
Not him.
Paulo just lost.
What different weight classes?
Paulo just lost. What's his face isn't in the UFC anymore. Who would you have given it to?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I wish I could see an Izzy Romero fight. Now that some of that pressure's off, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to see an actual fight between those guys because we did not watch a fight last time. You know.
I think the more and more you watch MMA, the more and more you're like, I know what I expect. And
I feel like now
what we expected was
Yoel
very
and
much.
an Izzy would have been like, I think they would have been like, all right, we fucking gotta go this time. And I think that one of them would have really done the initial, push for it, and then the other would have been like trigger ready, like yes, I was waiting for that, and I think they would have been a great matchup, and I'm bummed to not seen a true fight between them.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Yoel. Down.
He got dropped though. That wasn't his.
But he didn't even try. Like, well, he did. I don't know, dude.
He didn't even try though.
Juan's words cut like extra deep, and I'm like, damn, you hate.
Like he just stood there. He was like.
He literally stood there.
They both did though. The champion did too.
I'm more okay with, because I think no matter what, that was gonna be Izzy's game plan, because he would have gone for the counter strikes against Yoel. It was in the mindset. It was in everybody's mindset.
Yoel Romero is not in the UFC anymore.
That's fine. He's old.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean. It is what it is.
He was still like a light turned off before it was supposed to.
It's almost.
That's what I mean. There was so much potential. Like the fight, if they got to do it again, I think they would have actually fought. Like that would have been so dope.
We'll see what happens with Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens
there. I can't wait for that one.
They're gonna fight.
I really can't wait for that one.
I think Francis has enough confidence now to where he'll be like, yeah, let's go. Especially if he's calm.
We see Derek Lewis get knocked out?
Probably.
Rooting for
that fight,
both is such a... Like, I think when you're rooting for both, that is a much weirder emotional kind of, like, split than when you're like, oh, Tony's gonna... I want Tony to win. I, love Gaethje too, but, like, Tony, you really got a true... person you're rooting for, and when you're kind of in the corner with both Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou, and you're like, this is fucking hard.
I like them both, but if Francis goes in there as the calm Francis that we saw against Stipe, and Derek Lewis, obviously one hit from either one of them lights out, but I think Stipe will be able to have the better head movement and have the better defense so that he can get that one. While Derek Lewis is going to be a slugfest.
Oh, God.
Well, I think on that note, that is it for this week's episode. Glad to be back, everybody. It's going to be now a regular thing. Sorry we had to take off. I guess do you want to still record whenever we move? Holy shit.
Oh,
we'll have a recording moving day.
It'll be like our first full day probably in the new place.
So, but anyway, other than that, our schedule is back up and running and we're going to be watching all these fights. Well, actually, you guys are going to have to hit me up with a stream link because we on a budget. I cannot pay for this fight, so hook me up, please. Anyway, and if I can say so, do think that is our best episode yet. So